This is Rachel Dworkin from the Chemung County Historical Society. Today is July 15th, 2020, and we are interviewing for the COVID Memory Project. Today I am speaking with
Andrew Whitmarsh.
Okay, Andrew, you are a high school student, is that correct?
Yes, I am.
What grade are you in?
I am currently a sophomore in 10th grade.
Okay, and so you just finished up your 9th grade year, or you're a rising sophomore? Or?
Yes.
Okay, and what school do you go to?
I go to Horseheads High School.
Okay, so can you tell us what it was like when COVID first shut down the school?
So when COVID first shut down the school and we all got notice, we were basically handed packets or told we were going to get instructions from our teachers because it was originally supposed to only go through like April or May. And so we got the instructions, went home, and we're supposed to just do all this stuff that they gave us, and then just when we came back, give it to them, and it would just be curriculum done for the whole thing. Well, after it got extended, we were basically told to just electronically submit it through email to the teachers, and then we continued on with the learning after.
So had you had email at home before that? Like, I know that your family lives in a fairly rural area. Did you always have internet?
No, we got internet because of the stimulus check. We got internet set up and everything at home, but before that, we basically just came here to the museum to get on the internet.
Okay, so I imagine that was a bit of a hassle not having internet at home and having to take your classes online.
Yeah, it definitely was.
So do you know if there was anyone else from your school who was in a similar situation?
I know at least one kid said he did not have internet that I knew of. I never pried into anybody's life for general reasons, but from what I guessed, most kids at the school had internet.
Okay. So what kind of coursework were you doing online, and what kind of instruction were they providing?
So a lot of so I had just 3 courses to do, and for one of them it was every day we had a new assignment, usually paired with a video. So we just watched the video and answered the questions, and submitted that. And we were given about 2 days to do it each time, and that ultimately led up to a final project encompassing the whole course, which we were given a week to do and turn in. Another course was weekly assignments posted on Monday, get them done by Friday, and that all just sort of culminated in the big final lesson, which was just one singular essay to turn in.
And was that, how was the instruction for that class? Like, they were posting the assignments once a week, but how were they, teaching you the material?
It was more just looking at, it was given, I was given a list of, read this and then answer the questions based on it.
So was it, an English class?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It was analyzing Romeo and Juliet.
Okay.
For a month. And the third class was, the teacher was very much, had a lot less instruction for us, and it was one assignment maybe 1 week for varying weeks where we just had to do it and turn it in by taking a picture of our notes and submitting it to him.
Okay, so the class that had the videos, what were those videos, what platform were those videos through?
They were through Microsoft Teams with just a Word document attached to it.
Okay. So, how were you said you were communicating with your teachers via email. Was that like a regular thing? It was just you could hand in assignments, or were you able to ask questions, or how responsive were their teachers?
They were very responsive. I know one teacher had said she was going to have a little be away from the internet for a while, so she said to submit any questions then and there. So there was always a notification if the teacher was going to be stepping away from internet or being in a spot with low internet for a while. But during those entire months, we always had, we were encouraged to just ask questions whenever we had any.
Okay. How effective do you feel the teaching was? Do you think you've actually learned stuff?
I've learned stuff, but not as much as I could have in the classroom. yes, there were videos, but you can only get so much from a video instead of actually hearing it and being right in it. And we never actually did like biology labs too to reinforce it. Another one of my classes was with the assignments every so often. A majority of that class was on like online software downloaded onto computers, and so we had to skip over that for not making anybody download anything onto their computer.
Okay, so what were the 3 classes? Biology, English, and...
A class called Design and Draw for Production.
Okay. So you didn't have the software at home to do the actual designing? Is that what the issue was?
Yeah, so we just finished up, the course was divided into 2 halves, the art half and the engineering half. We finished up the art half, which is mostly Photoshop and Adobe Illustrator, and we were supposed to start SolidWorks when COVID hit, and so we just touched on very basic points of it in lieu of having everybody download it onto their computer.
Okay. So switching gears a little bit, I imagine it's been hard to keep up with your social life without being able to like socialize. How have you been staying in touch and doing stuff?
I've been able to, I've got a bunch of my friends' phone numbers, and because I'm a member of Boy Scouts, we were in virtual Zoom meetings for troop meetings throughout the rest of the year, so I was able to connect people with that way. We did some campouts, and so I was able to keep at least part of my social life active.
So when you say the campouts, you mean like you literally went into the woods and were doing camping? Or were you doing like Zoom campouts?
It was Zoom campouts, so we could set up like tents and stuff outside, but we did a bunch of activities over the internet. We played games and all sorts of fun stuff. But so you were literally camping outside if you could, and then the rest was taking place over Zoom.
Okay. Were you doing anything else to sort of, stay sane or stay connected?
Yeah, so I was, we've got a very messy room in the house that we've been slowly cutting down. And for the Boy Scouts, we have this trailer for the scout troop when we go to campouts that was rather messy and needed some repair. So my dad hauled it home so we could repair mechanical bits on it, and I tore the guts out of that thing and am now reorganizing it.
Okay. Cool. So you've been home with your family. Your dad works. What does your mom do?
She's a secretary at the Horseheads Middle School.
So has she been going to work, or has she been working from home?
She's been going to work. It only started up that she was going in every day of the week last month. Before that, for the start of the pandemic, it was nothing, and then after a couple of months into it, she came in every other day, swapping out with the other secretaries. Okay.
So I imagine you spent a lot of time at home with your parents. What about your siblings? Any time with that or?
Mm-hmm. So my sister had a bunch of jobs lined up that fell through, so she has a little bit more time at home, but managed to find another job online. So she's been going back and forth between that job and being at home.
Okay. So you've spent a lot of time together. How's that going?
It's going. It's definitely interesting to be at home with your family more than you would expect during something like this, when there's so much stuff to do outside, especially when it's spring and summer finally, and you can go outside and do some fun stuff.
Do you have any plans for the rest of the summer in terms of, I don't know, whatever?
We were hoping to do further down the line, if the pandemic starts to die off more, we were hoping to get back to do another family reunion with my dad's family, but that just depends on how affected the areas they are is in. And we were hoping to do maybe a official scout gathering later down the line towards the end of August. It all just depends on how the pandemic acts.
Okay. Do you have anything you'd like to add about your pandemic experience?
No, I do not.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.